So today I'm going to do a little trick. Trick in the sense, if I leave like 8 o'clock, then I had to stuck in the traffic. So today I'm leaving little late, like 8:30ish, to see how that goes. So today I want to talk to you about TDD and BDD, because I get a lot of questions asking when they start a new project what they should do. Is it TDD or BDD? That question itself is wrong, but I'll explain why it is wrong. Why I want to talk to you about this, because I get so many questions asking when we do a new project, when we start a new project, how we should do that. I mean, whether we should go with the TDD or we should go with the BDD. Actually, this question is itself invalid, because TDD and BDD are not alternative to each other. So those are two different things. You can replace TDD with the BDD or BDD with the TDD. Those are delivering completely two different use requirement. This is how it works. If you get the TDD, like we have done a complete video about the TDD and how to do the TDD, and with a practical example implementation. So TDD is to test the business functionality in a functional level. That's a completely technical thing. So developers are supposed to write the TDD or test-driven development test cases, and then they write the functionality. So in simple, how that works is you first write the test case. For example, let's say you have a function to add two numbers, right? You write the test case. Then you run the test case. Obviously, the test case failed because you don't have such functionality, right? So then you write the functionality and then you run again. So now it again failed because it doesn't take two numbers. Now you get two numbers and you run the function. So now it still failed because it doesn't return it. So likewise, you keep improving the test case. I mean, you don't have to go in that level granular steps. But what I'm saying, in theory, that's how it works, right? You go one step at a time and you run the test case and you then you implement the functionality. So, but in reality, we don't go that granular, like step-by-step execution. So BDD, on the other hand, is a behavioral driven development. So BDD BDD test cases usually written in plain English, because this test case is supposed to write by either product owner or the business analyst or the business consultant or someone who is not in the technical domain. That doesn't mean developers cannot write that. Developers can write it, but usually it created by users, end user, business owner, or someone like that. So therefore, they write that in the plain English. We can use a framework like a Cucumber, right? There are a ton of other frameworks, but I'm not going to explain those because this is not a video to explain the framework, but commonly use Cucumber. So there we write, expect add two numbers and get this results, or get notification, or get email, or something like that. So what is you expecting a behavior to this experiment? So now I hope you got the difference between TDD and BDD. So you cannot replace one from the other because it is not substitutable. Substitutable? Is that a real English word? I don't know. Anyway, so the second thing is, so TDD, right, in a technical language, as I explained, it can be Java in JUnit or something, or it can be Node.js, or it, like a JSite kind of a framework, or it can be anything, but it's a technical language. But whereas BDD test cases, we usually write in a plain English, as I said, the framework like a Cucumber. So other difference is TDD usually you execute before write the functionality, but BDD you execute after creating the functionality. The good side of the BDD, you can move this into integration tests as well. So if you want to integrate the different module, I want to create a user and then send the register the user or the course module, something like that. So you can write to kind of extended function in the BDD, whereas you cannot do that in TDD, because TDD you focus on the just that functionality. So there is other difference which is not much significant, but significant to PMs. So when you implement the TDD, it takes more than double or triple time, because you need to execute the test cases multiple times in order to write it, because if you're following the right practice. But in the BDD, you execute test cases after you implement the functionality, so probably one or two times. So therefore, you can save a lot of time with the BDD, but TDD, it takes a lot of time. That's why people don't use it. Looks like we ran a wrong test. So that means today is like a partially holiday in Sri Lanka. That means some companies are working. So it's not a mercantile, but it's kind of a holiday. Obviously, we expect less vehicles. So my test is wrong. But I reached the office like in 30 minutes.